you guys know that when you're in training, you have some days where you're stronger, some days where you're weaker. This day I had a day where I was a lot weaker than normally. Just a normal off day. It happens here and there. If it happens too much, then you might try to do a deload or figure out why it's happening. But if it's only rarely occurring, then it isn't a big deal and it's very normal. But what if you have a program you have to follow, a specific peaking program like I have right now? I am 7 weeks out from a competition and I am doing a slow linear progression up to that. So I would like to have my sets, otherwise I would get behind in the program. But also I know that the volume I'm gonna do on an off day at the same given weight, the quality of that would be way lower than it could have been, and the fatigue will be way higher because the RPE, the intensity, would end up being higher than it should be. So what do you do when you have these off days and everything feels really off? Well, it depends on the situation, but I think that you should try and figure out why everything is feeling off. In my case, I had really tight hips, or the hip flexors were really tight, so I almost couldn't hit depth when I warmed up because I was so tight. So I just took extremely slow warm up. I actually ended up, I think that I went like 1.5 hours before I did my top set on squats, because I had so much leg extensions, so much warm ups with the squats, and I also did some sumo deadlifts and hanging knee raises and everything to just loosen it up. And it actually ended up working in the end. I think Ivan Juric has talked about this in one of his recent videos, where everything moves all right, but feels extremely heavy. That's how I felt after I have done all these warm-ups with leg extensions, sumo deadlifts, knee raises, and smaller jumps and everything. Then like 140 squat felt like 180 normally do. So it was a off day. To this problem, I have not found the solution yet. Well, I have found a solution, and for me that's really just hype. It could be very individual what works for you, but stuff like smelling salts and high volume music and stuff like that, that really gets me fired. That really helps on the feeling heavy, moving alright thing. It makes it feel alright, move alright. So what did I do? Well, I blasted the music to the max and took smelling salts and took 1.5 scoops of pre-workout instead. And I warmed up for 1.5 hours and did like literally everything you can think about, and that ended up working. Now you could ask yourself, should you do this or should you not? Well, in my opinion, if you're not on a specific peak program or you're training up to something specific, then if you have an off day, let it be an off day. Do some recovery work and just move and go home. But if you have a specific competition, something you're working up to, then it can be necessary for you to get in this work. Also guys, a little off topic, but I want to talk about the competition that I am peaking to, because I figured that I haven't really talked too much about it. I'm 7 weeks out right now. It's nationals here in Denmark, and for sub juniors only, so below 19 years old. I have already been at nationals one time actually, and there I won pretty much everything actually. I won the squat in my weight class, the bench in my weight class, the deadlift in my weight class, and the total in my weight class, and the points overall for all weight classes for males. So I have already some experience there. So the competition will not be against other people for me this time, I think. The competition will be with myself, which I also enjoy more. And I also, when I'm against other people that are stronger than me or as strong as me, I still think it like I'm against myself, because this sport is a individual sport, and that's kind of why I like it. Because you don't have to rely on other people, and you don't really have to think about other people. You can just focus on yourself, and that's something I really enjoy about this sport. But anyways, for the goals for this competition, the goal is to beat my total PR, of course, and make a slow and steady progression. But also there is some records I would like to break here, national records here. The squat national record in my weight class is 240, so I would hope to do 242.5 or 240.5 or whatever it calls in the day, but I would like to break that. And the bench press record is 160. I'd also like to break that. Maybe 162.5 or 160.5, we'll see in the day. And for the deadlift record in a full powerlifting competition with all three lifts is 277.5, held by me. But I would also like to break that. If everything goes perfect for the prep, then hopefully around 290-ish, if I figure out hook grip to work. Other than that, the total, I would like to get close to 700, but I don't think it's realistic to break the 700s. My total PR right now is 650, so that's quite a long way to 700. But yeah, the goal is to get as close to 700 as possible and there break the total record, which is 657.5 right now. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoy these type of videos, then please tell me in the comments. And if you don't, then also tell me in the comments and what I can improve and what you want more of.